Hello, everyone. This is Jessie over at Grace and Truth Ministries, and today I wanted to share with you my journaling kind of world and all the different ways that I've done planning and journaling and what that looks like, and how my system evolved over time and why. So I just kind of compiled. Sorry, that's my new baby aloe plant. I just kind of compiled what I have going and some of the things that I've done in the past. And I forgot one more. Here, we're gonna put two more out here, just to kind of fully get the real grand scheme of all of the things. So I have always been a note taker. One of my things that I do is I have to write everything down. I do have adult ADD, and if my brain doesn't see something on paper, it basically didn't even happen at all. So for me, it's super important both at home and at work to keep track of things, and I am constantly evolving to determine what is going to be the best system. So I don't usually stick with one thing. There is one system that I've stuck with for quite a while, and I will explain that as well. So I guess without getting further into it, I'll just kind of explain where I started. When I first started journaling, I had started because I was seeking a way to really get deep in the word and understanding of the Bible, and another way to provide kind of my thoughts and my prayers to God in a way that I would understand. And I really admired the bullet journal system. So when I first started, I was using these two guys. So I would take these two systems and kind of combine them to do all the things that I wanted to. So this one was my morning time, prayer time. So that would be when I would sit down with my coffee and I would do my Bible study, and I would really kind of dig into the Word. I always felt best when I would start my day with just a reflection as to what I thought, what I needed from God, what I thought He needed from me, and that kind of thing. So the way that looked for me is I would put in here just a prayer, just an actual kind of daily prayer, thinking about it. I also would put little notes. I would put the verse of the week in here to kind of look at. And oh, look, it's my wedding day when my husband and I got married. So yeah, so I put that in there. Any kind of extra stuff I would just stick in, and this worked really well, and I really enjoyed it. And that's kind of what I used for quite a long time, actually for pretty much a year, right up until about February, and then I switched systems altogether. So the other thing I would do is I would track my verse of the day in here, by kind of seeing what my Bible app had. I would put a log of that in there. And then this page in this system, and this is a Erin Condren planner. So I would also put my goals in here for both what did I want to read in the Bible, did I have any specific goals. What does that say? God is calling you to remove doubt from your life. Will you answer? So I would sometimes put little kind of messages that I felt pressing in my heart. I was tracking how often I was sitting with God in the mornings, and then I was tracking also my Bible time with my kids. And I just want to take a moment here and step back, because one of the things that I do want to do on this channel is to not just share journals, but kind of also just share what life brings me. I am in a split custody family, so I have 50-50 with my kids. And I know for a lot of parents and a lot of people, that can be really, really challenging. And it can bring to your children their situations that are difficult on them to begin with. In this case, my children are actually in a house where one house has faith and is Christian, and then the other house is not. And my ex-husband actually married a practicing pagan. And so this kind of brings challenges all on their own with trying to introduce faith to kids. And I'm going to be really excited about talking about that in videos to come. But what I was tracking here was the times that I've actually attempted to do something faith-filled with my kids. Did I lead a prayer at night? Did I discuss the Bible with them? What opportunities did I take to really, when I had them, express faith? And so I was trying to be vigilant about that. So that is what I did in this one. Again, this was my morning time. So when I would sit down and do my morning routine with Jesus, I would use this. And then in the afternoons, I would have a little bit more reflective time. So in this one, I tried to at first, this is going to be really weird because I've been using this for something else now, but I tried to at first do that whole, what's it called? Bullet journaling thing where you take pages and you just whatever. You do that bullet journal style. I'm not a bullet journaler. I did not like it at all. This is probably my favorite page. This is one where I was kind of really dissecting God's word, digging into it, looking at the different things of it. I did kind of mimic or take the concept from Bible Bujo lady. I apologize. I totally just botched that, I'm sure. But I did this and I didn't like it. It just wasn't for me. I think the pages were, to be honest, I think they were too big. So then from there, I did like the afternoon reflection time though, because for me, my job is so crazy, and I'm a director at a daycare, and things just get really chaotic and tumultuous, and especially in the post-COVID pandemic world in the childcare industry, if you're not familiar with it, it's really hurting right now. So I tried to move away from that, and then what I did was, I should also mention at that time that this was the size of my planner. So this is what I drag to work with me every day to do my personal planning and my personal stuff. And let me tell you, I outgrew it because it was too big. I didn't keep, it's even backwards. I didn't keep track of my to-dos very well. I tried to do, okay, hold on. I did it like this. So at the top, I used the themes that I was trying to keep track of, and then I would put in the things, in these. But look at all these empty boxes. There was just too many. I just wasn't using it to its potential. So I shifted away from that because I didn't use it. So then from there, I tried to do a traveler's notebook system. And I have the, not that guy. I didn't use that guy then. This is the guy. I used this one to, my baby pot. Oh no. It's okay, baby Aloe. You're going to be just fine. Just wipe that away. There we go. Sorry. I'm messy. Here's the deal, y'all. If you are a clean person, and if that's a thing for you, you probably are not gonna get along. We're just not gonna get along. I mean, maybe we will, but if you're a perfectionist, you might cringe every time you see things I do. This my daughter got acetone. I'm so sad. She got acetone on this table when she was trying to repurpose dolls, and she was taking their little heads and using nail polish to like remove their faces so that she could paint and draw a new one. I bless her creativity, a beautiful thing, but she got it on the table and I have not gotten rid of it. So, and you're just going to find that perfection is not my thing. I'm organized, but it's chaotic, and let's just leave it at that. Okay, so I tried the bullet journal, that didn't work. Tried the traveler's journals, and I'm going to be honest, I still really like the traveler's system, and I go back and forth between the way that I lay out a traveler's system and how I use it, and I'll kind of explain that too. So when I first used my traveler's system, I had all these little guys in there along with this, and these guys were like my specific category things, and then this was my main afternoon journal thing. So remember, I was like still doing the morning thing, except I don't know if I did, because I stopped. When did I start this guy? March. Okay, so in February I stopped using this one and switched to this one. And then, oh look, there's my family, there's my babies, and my hubby, and he's so cute. Sorry. So I switched from that to this, in this guy right here, okay? And I actually stopped doing the morning thing, which I didn't notice right away. Like, I didn't realize that switching systems meant that I stopped doing my morning time in reflection. Eventually I did figure it out, and I didn't like it, and then I'll show you what came after that. So, while this was all assembled in here, I had a couple different ones. Where is sorry y'all, my favorite one isn't even up here. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know what I did with it, but I had a couple different ones for specific things. And you can see I had one for lists, one for Bible study. This one I had created as like a replacement planner. Yeah, that was a total nightmare. I don't know what I was thinking. Look at this. I thought, oh, maybe that'd be cool because it's like the same, right? So here's your like appointments, and then over here is like your category of to-do stuff and my verse of the week. And I was like, oh, that's gonna be so neat. I'm gonna like it so much. And then I did this like thing here. Yeah, it was cool and I did like it, but guess what? I didn't like putting it together, and I didn't like having to like cut every month, and I didn't like doing that part. It was too much annoying things for me, and it was only like 3 months, and I was gonna have to do it all over again. And I was like, no, thank you. So that was my failed system. This one, I really liked it. I will put notes to myself for things I want to do in my journal, or will come up with later. But this one was sort of like memory keeping stuff, right? Like, and I'm not like super artsy, so some of this will look artsy and some of it don't, and that's okay by me. So some of it was just like notes, things like that, things I wanted to remember about my kids, a little date night with my husband, there's our wedding, that kind of stuff. So, oh, it's cute, it's a little invitation. So yeah, oh, and there's my brother's gender reveal. Dude, okay, my brother is good looking, but that's not the point. He has 3 little kids, and they just keep him busy like crazy. My son cut his mullet. Yeah, so this is like how I use this. I really, really liked the memory keeping thing, and I did continue with that. But these little things, when I switched from this, they took up too much space in the journals, and I didn't know what I was going to do, so I'll show you that too. So then this was my like random stuff, and then this was my afternoon prayer time. And you can see I stuck with it. I mean, I really enjoyed it, and I think I'll flip through it with you guys someday in the future and show you it. But that was my afternoon prayer time. And when I got done with this one, and I was like, my gosh, I got to get another one out. And I do have I have a ton of these style notebooks. These are Paperage is the name of the brand, and I really like them. They're like A5 size. I use them everywhere. I use them at work for note taking. I use them for Bible study. I just use a whole bunch of them. I started putting numbers on them to keep kind of track or keep them in order. But what I didn't like mainly and what I missed was that I was missing like this morning thing. And I was like, well, maybe I'll just get another one of these, or maybe I'll try something different. And that, my friends, is when I entered into crazy Hobonichi world. Now, also, keep in mind too, sorry, I'm a horrible film photographer. I've never done this before. You guys, this is like my first time. So be nice. I started with this one, and this is what brand is this one? Clever Fox. Okay, so I got a Clever Fox, and I'll show you how I use that one. And this is basically, this one replaced this guy, okay? So this Clever Fox is this. And then this one kind of basically replaced these two. So it combined this system of afternoon journaling and morning journaling, combined it into just the one thing, which makes me so excited. Look at that. I love these guys. Can I just say, I've always been a journaler. I used to journal as a kid, and I would write things like, "Dear Jesus, my cousin is really annoying today. He said that girls aren't as good as boys. I am so mad. Love, Jessie." Okay, that's what I would write about. I'm not even joking. But I always journaled, and I always enjoyed it. And when I became a parent, I tried to memory keep. And here's another thing, my friends. I have quite a colorful story and testimony, and God is so faithful. And I really can't wait to explore my testimony with you all. Part of it is having exited a relationship that was domestic violence. So to give it a frame of context, my attempt to journal for my children, their lives early on, was not successful, but my life wasn't successful. And it was blowing up from the inside. And I think it wasn't a possibility for me to really memory keep in a safe way for myself until my life was better. So that's that. But yeah, so I am memory keeping now, and that's kind of this system right here, which I'll share another time. So my day-to-day system, though, is this guy. So he is my morning and my afternoon, and if you've never done a hobanichi before, they're so cool. They have the Tomoe river paper. They're just great. I love them, and I will share the insides of my journals another time, okay? Because I'm just trying to introduce you to my crazy and my systems, I guess. So these two I currently use. These are my go-tos, okay? So these guys, they're retired. They had their life, and they're retired now. Okay, but these guys I do use. I do this one but when I have time, about once a week or twice a week, to update my memories from the week. This one I use every day, in the morning and the afternoon. This little baby, he's I don't even know how to explain this. how do I explain this? Okay, so when you're a journaler and you're like, I love my pages and your pages are so cute, and you're just like, I want it to look like, at least this is how I feel, right? Like, I put not a lot of thought into it. I'm going to be honest, I don't like do a lot of artwork. I used to, excuse me. I used to do more like artwork. But like I said, my job as a director, it gets crazy. And so I don't always have time to be artistic. I really don't. And this is a season when I'm not in a lot of time to be artistic. So that means that I kind of use a lot of like pre-cut things or whatever. But because I want it to kind of look a certain way, and because when I memory keep, I'm like, keeping track of things that are going on and that kind of thing, I don't always have time to sit and make it look like fancy the way I want to. So this guy is a combination of logging and keeping track of what is going to go in my journals, and also he's this guy. Remember him? Hi. So he took over for this guy, and that just is hilarious to me because he's so little. But that's why it works. Like, I can't show you because my phone is how I'm recording the video, but my phone is basically like about the same size as this. Okay, and it's perfect because when I leave for work, I just grab my phone and I grab this. I'm good to go. So much easier to work with and deal with. And then what I do is I just kind of put my appointments for the week. Any to-dos go here. I don't try to categorize them out anymore. And then post-its might be little extra ideas or whatever. Like, look what I'm doing today. I'm making my first video. And then anything that I want to put in the journals will go up there. So that's kind of how the system works. Actually, it works. Like, this has been working for me because rather than having that extra stress of being like, oh my gosh, I have to journal, or I'm not going to remember what it was I was going to write, it just goes in here. And then I can pull this guy out later and open this guy up and be like, oh yeah, what does that say? Do better at prayer. Jesus, focus with kids. Yeah, so I can open this guy up and be like, oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. And then I can put it into the notebooks. So those are my current ones. I do have, let's see. I have a couple extra that just hang out with me on a regular basis. And they hang out in this guy. This is from, oh my gosh, what is her channel? Creative Faith Company. I like her stuff. She's got some really cool things. This is a prayer journal that I started for my hubby. This is my Bible. If you've visited my Instagram channel, I have that on my Instagram. But this is my Bible study notes. So this is where I keep all of those guys. So this is active. It's just not every day that I use it, if that makes sense. But my little guy that goes every day sits right here, goes like that, and then like that. And that's my system. So, and then I've got, that's where it went. That's why I couldn't find it. This guy is my creative time one. So I separate them with faith and creative. And he sits in here like that. And this is sort of my inspirational type thing. So it gives me just some ideas on how I want to do things. If I have page ideas, it goes in here. If I'm trying out different markers, whatever. Or again, remember how I said organized chaos? That's what this is, man. It's my organized chaos. And then this is my attempt at still incorporating art, when I have, there's me, in case you didn't know. But when I have time, I will make art stuff. So yeah, that's that. So that's my current system. I also have 2 more things I use, and then we're done, guys. Like, I'm telling you, I do a lot of different things, but it's because I need to have categories for my brain to understand things. At work, I have different notebooks for different things. Like, I have to document and log family communications, and I have a specific one for that. I have to log staff communications, and I have one for that. I have one for interacting with the church council and and my administrator. So I just keep specific books for specific things. It's just what works for me. And you know what? Y'all got to do what works for you. And that's just how I feel about it. This is my sermon notebook. So this is what I take with me to church, and I log notes from the sermon. It doesn't look pretty. It's just getting the message down on paper so that I can remember it and work with it later. And then sometimes I'll go back and I'll make it pretty. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's just like notes. But I will kind of at times go back and, put a little color in it and make it kind of spicy. So those are my sermon notes. And yeah, that's that. And this little guy, it's the last piece of my puzzle of notes systems that I have. And this one, I will eventually show as well, but I'm not really going to show too much of it right now because I don't have stuff covered up. But this is my prayer journal. So my workflow in the morning when I sit down with coffee is I start with this. Do I? I guess I do. Or do I do the other one first? I think it varies, but I'll either start with this one or with the little Hobonichi dude. One of these two will be first or second, depending on the day, I guess. And but usually I think it's this and then this. But this is where I keep all of my prayers. People call it a war binder, I guess, is its equivalency. These two combined are my war binder, if that makes sense. So I'll sit with this. It's got, without showing too much information, can I do that? Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's got different categories for the different days. My husband, prayers for my husband, answered prayers. Like I said, I will show it another time, you guys. I promise. But it's got all the different categories. Each page has a different day. I do all the days and have the different categories. So Sunday is family, Monday's work, Tuesday's friends, Wednesday's church, Thursday is a miscellaneous category, Friday is unsaved, Saturday is government leaders, or leaders of the world kind of thing. So yeah, and then I use Post-its because, oh my goodness, it's why would you do it any other way? Post-its are great. It's a great way to just quickly put your prayer in, and if it changes, then you just take it out and put it somewhere else. So yeah, that's this guy. So those are all of my crazy, look at my crazy. This is just my brain. I don't know how to say it. It's just my brain. This is where my brain goes, and this is what my brain does, all right down to the dirt. But what I can say is it's such a blessing. It really is. It's so worth your time. If you have a need to get with the Lord and to, just submit your prayers to Him, if you have a need to keep track of your life because you can't remember things like I do, if you want to, be able to give something to your kids, I don't put a lot of stuff on Facebook for my kids. They don't see a lot of their life on Facebook, but someday they're going to have this, and they're going to see, things from their life, and it's going to be cool. So if you have just a desire to journal, I encourage you to do it. I find that for me, it's really brought me closer to God, because I can very much see when he's pushing things forward. I see it reflected in my words and in my prayers, and the verses that he brings to me. I can actually visually see his active role in my life and the things that he is doing for the kingdom and for his glory. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful process. And so if you are faith-filled, I strongly encourage you to create some kind of journaling relationship and communication with God. If you're not faith-filled, journaling is still good for you, but I can honestly tell you that my videos that I'm going to be sharing are going to be faith specific, because that is such an integral part of my life. So I also have, there's one more journal. I'm not going to go get it because it's in my music studio. But I do have a journal specific for songwriting. And that is downstairs in my music studio, where my husband and I do our music. So, but that one I will put like song ideas or chord progressions or things like that in. And so that's why that kind of stays in that area. Sometimes it comes upstairs by my piano, but usually it doesn't. So anyways, let me know if you have any questions. I do plan to go into these guys in a little more detail. I also plan to show you my daily routine and what my Bible looks like, because, I did not even show my Bible. I can't believe I didn't show it. Okay, this is my Bible. It's my baby. And yeah, someday I will dig into that with you guys as well. So I hope you enjoyed seeing inside my brain a little bit. Thank you for being patient. I look forward to exploring these concepts with you guys. I definitely plan to discuss Bible studies. I plan to discuss themes in my life. We're a co-parent relationship, what it's like to co-parent with an abusive ex-husband, what it's like to come to Jesus, after so many adversities. I hope to discuss all those things and more, because this channel is for you guys to really witness the Lord in action in your life, and to become an active participant for your own life as well. So thank you. I hope you're blessed by witnessing and seeing this, and I look forward to more. Have a beautiful day.